Today we'll start with the first chapter, as I said, that is units and measurement. Little bit you might be knowing what unit is, etc., which you have learned in ninth class. We'll be elaborating in that topic, guys. Now, before we go to the straight to the units and measurement and the derivation section or dimension section, etc., I wanted to give a small introduction regarding this chapter. Okay, we'll start with a small example, guys. Please be with me. It is a fun thing which I'm going to tell you, and let's start. See, this is a chess play which is going to happen. Okay, there's a chess play going on between, let's say, two guys' name. Can you tell me two guys' name? We'll start with Sudarsh. Let's be this be Sudarsh, and this is Gopal. Okay, two kids. They're playing chess. Okay, let's say two rows like this. Okay, and another person here, let's say it is what, Dinesh. Dinesh is watching these two guys playing. Okay, and he's calling his mother because he his first time watching this game. He has no idea whatsoever about a chess play. And me too, I also have not much idea about chess play, but it is better to explain the thing which I want to tell you guys through this. That's why I'm telling you. And if at all I told any rule which is wrong in chess play, I'm extremely sorry, guys. Okay, so Dinesh is watching a game between Sudarshan and Gopal. Okay, and he is calling his mother to tell what Sudarshan did and what Gopal did, and he is also noting the things which is happening in the game because he want to study it, because it's the first time he's listening to a game or he's looking at the game. So Sudarsh was moving his pieces and Gopal was countering it, right? So while Sudarsh moved a pawn, right, it straight away moved in a straight line. So Dinesh noted that the pawn moves in a straight path. Then Sudarsh or Gopal moved his horse in an L-shaped way. So Dinesh noted means that that means the horse moves in an L way, or his movement is in L form. Then similarly Sudarsh moved a horse, and Gopal then moved his bishop, etc. So what Dinesh did is he made a rule book. Right, he took a book, he wrote entire movements done by Sudarsh and Gopal, and he made a table like this. And in one side he wrote queen, so how queen moves, pawn, how pawn moves, how bishop moves, and he made a rule book. And while he was writing the entire thing, he was talking to his mother and told this and all is happening, this is how this the game is making me understand that the bishop only moves like this, etc., etc. And his mother also understands it, and she asks some questions and he clarifies it according to the game he is looking. Right. Suddenly what he saw is Sudarsh's pawn came in this position and Gopal's pawn came in this position. Suddenly Sudarsh cut this pawn, or Sudarshan's piece moved like this. But Dinesh noted that initially he just wrote in the first point he wrote that pawns move in only a straight line this. This is the first time he saw that this piece is moving in a diagonal way. So it was a new revelations to him, right? Because he noted that this pawn will be only moving in a straight path. Suddenly he saw that no, the pawn can also move in this fashion. Right. Similarly, he saw that the queen is also able to move in a diagonal way. So what Dinesh showed that he changed the already existing rule. And he notified his mother also, Mom, it is not true. There is another way in which the pawn can move, the queen can move, etc. And he made the first rule. He wrote it as what? The pawn can move in straight way. He made an addition that the pawn can also move in a diagonal way. I hope you understood this scenario. Now let's move on to. Now the chessboard is what your nature is. Right? The nature. Right, that means there is already existing rules which is happening in the nature. This is not made by us. Nature is already existing before us, right? So there is a set of rules in the nature, right? And it has been happening from the time the earth or the universe was created. And Dinesh, this person is a scientist or an observer. The observer is watching the nature. he tries to understand the nature which he has not been completely able to learn, right? The same scenario. See, Dinesh wants to watch a game between Sudarshan Gopal and so that he studies the game. But by simply looking at these two guys' game only once, can he study the chess fully? No. He has to repeatedly listen to the different person's games, right? Just not Sudarshan Gopal. He has to listen to or has to watch a lot of games of other guys. Then he has to study by himself. Then he has to game or has to play by himself with someone else, right? Then also he can never learn or he can never say that I am perfection of chess play or I have perfectly learned the chess play. He can never say, because no one in the entire universe can say I am the champion of chess play, because even if he becomes a champion for the first time, after 2 or 3 years or repeatedly after in between some of the games he can lose, right? So no one is perfect. No one, just like say you would have learned of how Ishudas has told that he's not a perfect musician because still he is studying, right? Similarly, knowledge which is existing in the universe or the nature is unlimited and it is being studied by the scientists till now. Clear? So Dinesh is the scientist. He is learning about the nature and he is making a set of rules, or he is not making, he is noting it down, the rules which is being happening in nature. And these rules, once he has written, it is not fixed because he is seeing that some of the changes are again and again coming up in the nature. So those alterations he has to mention again. Sometimes in between this Dinesh person or the scientist might pass, or he might not be able to see that change, and another scientist might see the change, right? Or would say that existing rule is wrong according to the experiments or the watch or observations done by him, and he alters the already existing rule written by another scientist. This is what happened in the case of Newton, right? Newton told that the speed of light is constant, but then later Laplace corrected that the speed of light changes according to the medium, right? So there was a alteration done, right? This is what is happening in the world. Now what happens? So who is mother here? We are, right? Dinesh, the scientist, learns about nature. He has to inform the world, right? So he informs the world regarding it, and this is us. We are, we can say, idiots. We are of a different level when compared to a scientist. Scientists can easily converse with another scientist because they will be of the same wave nature or wavelength, but us in that case is quite less bright, right? So Dinesh or the scientist have to make us understand the concept. So that concept or this concept which is existing in the world, if we have to understand it, it should be beautified or it should be in a different language which is understandable by us, right? This is where our entire chapter, that is unit and measurement, comes up, right? So we'll go on again. Why measurement is very, very important, guys. See, initially in the older times, now let's see, initially older times means before education system etc was not existing. I'd say very very much ages before that time also there was purchasing etc going on, right? But they didn't have monetary system. What they used to do, they exchange the goods between each other. One person will be growing agriculture, paddy etc, the other person might be a weaver and he sells clothes. So a person would give this much amount of rice in exchange with cloth, right? So what happened is, if see I am using my say I'm using my hand for measuring rice, but my hand size might be small when compared to the person to whom I am selling, right? So there comes a ambiguousness while measuring using just my hand, because this is not a proper way of what measuring the rice, right? Because see, I say I will give you 3 handful of rice for exchange of 1 cloth piece, right? For me my hand is small, for him the hand might be large, right? So he will have a fight. No, that is not a proper way of measuring, right? So comes a lot of fight regarding it. So that happens a requirement for a base. that all the measurement will be done according to that base only, right? And that is where the unit etc comes up. See, there also, see, initially you would to take the length using feet, foot or feet. Similarly, we used to measure the length using yard way, or the weight was in pound, etc. Then the universal system came up with the method that every weight will say in the terms of kilogram. Still in some of the countries is in pound, but basic unit of length is meter, basic unit of weight or mass is kilogram, right? So with this, every measurement is done with one base, so it is very easy to compare in the sense. See, I take let's say an elephant and a cow, which is weighing more. I know it is elephant, right? So I can be able to, if both of them, see, are measured in the same way, both of them are measured in the same unit of kilogram, then it is very easy to say them or compare, right? If say this is of 3000 kilogram, which elephant is of 3000 kilogram, and cow is of say 300 kilogram, means, sorry, not 330 kilogram, I'm just giving an idea, okay? So 3030, that means this guy is 100 times weighing than cow, right? So then you can easily measure, or you can compare, right? That is where our units come up. I will tell you, or I will teach you that as we go on. Okay, so now we are going to the chapter's main terms. That is, first main term which you have to learn is physical quantity. What do you mean by a physical quantity? Why are we learning this thing at their chapter, guys? Because this system of measurement or system of units of measurement whatsoever is very, very important while to describe the nature, right? So let's move on. So physical quantity are those quantities which can be measured, right? Which can be measured by us, and these physical quantities are used to describe the laws of physical world or nature, right? So the quantities which are used for measuring or to describe the nature or physical world and can be measured by us, we have to be able to measure, right? Those type of quantities are known as physical quantities. Best example is weight, right? See, the same example I will take. Elephant is a part of nature. Similarly, cow is also part of nature. I want to compare their weight. So weight is a physical quantity, right? I can compare these two existence by measuring or finding the comparison of their weight. So weight is measurable, right? Second, it describes the nature, right? It describes both of the organisms, right? So weight is a physical quantity, or I can say mass is a physical quantity. Clear? So physical quantity is actually three types. First one is fundamental physical quantity, second one is derived physical quantity, and the third one is supplementary quantity. First one is fundamental. What do you mean by fundamental? Which is basic, right? So first we will learn about basic. So what do you mean by a fundamental physical quantity? Fundamental physical quantity means a quantity which is not derived from anything. That is a basic, right? See, when you want to study a language, what is the first thing which you study is the alphabets, right? Only after studying alphabets you can create words, right? So alphabets, that is a fundamental thing. Similarly, physical quantities, fundamental section, that is known as fundamental physical quantities. From that only you derive any other quantities, right? From that you got the derived physical quantity also. See, I'm writing here fundamental. PQ means physical quantity, guys. While I write the notes, I write a lot of short forms, guys. Don't write the short forms in your notes or in your class examination. Now another is derived physical quantity, right? Now fundamental physical quantities means, see, let's say an example. I will teach you an example. Length is a fundamental physical quantity. Length is a physical quantity which is measurable, right? I telling it as a physical quantity. Why? Length is measurable by us, right? Right. And it is used to describe the nature of a thing. Yes. So length is a physical quantity. That is for sure, right? Now, why did I say it is a fundamental quantity? Length as a quantity is not derived from something else. Let's see. I'm telling derived physical quantity is something which is derived from a fundamental physical quantity. See, velocity. You have learned in ninth. What is the unit of velocity? It is meter per second, right? Or I can say it is length by time, right? So, see, length is a fundamental quantity. From that fundamental quantity, I am deriving velocity because velocity is length by time. So, I can say another fundamental quantity from this equation. Time is also a fundamental quantity. Right. So fundamental quantities are those quantities which becomes the basis for any other physical quantities, which is mainly derived physical quantity. They are not produced or generated from any other quantities. So physical quantities which doesn't depend upon any other physical quantities is known as fundamental physical quantities. I'm repeatedly physical quantity telling, right? It's okay. So quantities or physical quantities which doesn't depend on any other physical quantities is known as fundamental quantity. So what is derived physical quantity? The quantities or the fundamental quantities which is derived from fundamental quantities or any other quantities is known as derived physical quantity, right? Fundamental base. From base which is created is known as derived. Clear? Right. Now, so then you would ask what is third form, right? Before moving to that, there is a small term which you have learned in ninth, which is unit, right? Unit. What do you mean by unit, guys? That is an internationally accepted reference standard to measure a physical quantity. See, length, right? I know this is a physical quantity. I have to have a term by which I can compare, right? That comparison term is unit. Length's unit is meter. So if I have two rods like this, right? How would I compare them? I have to have a common form of comparing. That common form is unit, and this I want to measure length, right? So I will measure this whole rod with the terms of length or meter. Say it is 1 meter. Then I will measure the small rod, it is 0.5 meter. So I will say it is half of this one, right? So for comparing the length, I require a small term by which I can compare, right? That small term is known as unit. In case of mass, it is kilogram, right? In case of volume, it is liter. In case of length, this is meter. In terms of time, it is seconds, right? So unit is an internationally accepted. Internationally accepted means unit or standard unit I have not reached, guys. Unit is something which has been universally accepted as a common term of reference to measure a physical quantity. Clear? Right, this and all you have learned in 9th class. So then there is a term, there are two physical quantities. That means there should be two types of units, right? That is fundamental unit and the other is derived unit. Fundamental unit and derived unit. So unit of a fundamental quantity is known as fundamental unit. So meter is a fundamental unit. Times unit is second. So fundamental unit is second, right? Similarly, derived unit is unit of a derived physical quantity. Velocity's unit is meter per second. So meter per second is a derived unit. Clear? So fundamental unit meter second, derived unit meter per second. I hope it is much as clear. Right. So there is a small term again you have to understand, which is SI unit. SI unit. There is a small thing which you have to write. So SI unit, there is only 7 or globally accepted system of unit, right? So system of units, this is something which is universally accepted and it is common for the entire world. So you guys have to by heart it. And it is very easy because around 6 of them I think is something which you have learned. There is only one which might be changing. So first we are going to make a table. So I will not be drawing the entire thing, guys. I will be writing as it is. I would request you guys to make a table in your paper or your notebook and then write. Okay. So the first again, I am writing SI unit, right? SI unit is this physical quantity. You have to write it as, not write it as PQ, write it as physical quantity. and then there is unit, and there is symbol. If you don't want, you can look into the NCERT textbook. I hope you guys all have purchased your NCERT textbook. If at all you have not purchased, I would request you guys to order it by Amazon. I would prefer it, guys. It's not good that you are moving outside for purchasing book. Anyways, if you I have seen somewhere in the ad of Amazon that if you purchase 3 books as a whole, that is physics, biology, chemistry, like that, there is some reduction in price. Okay, so the first one, physical quantity, is length. So whether length is fundamental or derived, it's a fundamental, right? So physical quantity length, its unit is what? Meter. This and all you know, right? And what is the symbol? M. Now the second physical quantity is mass, right? What is its unit? It is kilogram, and symbol is kg. Now the third one is time. What is its unit? Second, and the symbol is S. Next one is temperature. I will write only temp, you guys to write temperature as a whole. Temperature, what is its unit? Don't write the degree Celsius, it is Kelvin, guys. Kelvin, and this capital letter K is its unit. Now next one is electric current. What is unit? Ampere, and symbol is A. Now next one is luminous intensity. This is a term you might not be remembering. Its unit is candela, and symbol is CD. Now luminous intensity is the term which gives the, or to say about the energy of light, right? Energy of light, or how much is the intensity of the light, or the energy of a light is termed in the terms of luminous intensity. Now the last one is amount of substance. That also has been learned by you guys, amount of substance, and its unit is mole, right? So out of this, I think luminous intensity will be the first thing which you have not learned. The entire other terms you know. So there are 7 SI units. So length, mass, time, temperature, electric current, luminous intensity, and amount of substance, right? So these are the fundamental quantities also, right? So from this fundamental quantity only the derived quantities made. So now see, length, when it is multiplied twice, length into length, meter into meter, becomes meter squared. What is the unit of meter, or what is the quantity which is described by meter squared? That is area. So what happens when I am multiplying length thrice? It becomes meter cube. So that is for volume. So that is a derived quantity, right? And meter cube is a derived unit, right? Similarly, if I say, right, I can say in terms of second, right? Meter per second, that is velocity. So it is a derived unit. Meter per second square, that is acceleration, right? Clear? I hope this much is clear. So this and all terms are used for creating the another unit, or I can say derived units. So I can say SI unit is similar or quite same as that of a fundamental unit, right? So there are universally accepted only 7 units, and this you have to by heart. After this we'll do some conversion section. How can I convert kilometer per hour to meter per second, etc. you have learned. We'll deal with a little thing. I will deal with or do a small question with this, guys. This is not the basic section. I'm just telling you an idea, or this is an introduction part, right? So I just want to make sure you understand it. See, how can I convert 1 kilometer per hour? What is kilometer per hour? It is velocities unit. Okay, see, 1 kilometer per hour. I can write it like this, right? So 1 kilometer per hour or so can be written as 1 kilometer by 1 hour, right? So 1 kilometer, how much meter? I want to convert it into meter per second, right? So numerator there should be meter, and denominator there should be second, right? So 1 kilometer, how much meter? That you have to learn. Okay, it is 1000 meter. 1 hour, how many second? That, see, 1 hour is 60 minutes, right? So 60 minute. See, I will write here. 1 hour is first 60 minute, right? So 1 minute is how many seconds? 60 seconds. So 60, right? The 60. 1 minute, right? 60 into 1. So 1 minute I am writing it as how much? 60 second, right? So there are how many seconds? There are this much second, right? So here I will write it as 60 into 60 this time. So 1000 divided by 3600 meter second. You can cut off 2. So 10 by 36, or I can write it as 5 by 18 meter per second. Clear? This is how 1 kilometer per hour is equal to 5 by 18 meters second comes up, which you have learned in your 9th class. I hope you remember, understood. 1 kilometer, you wrote it as 1000 meter. 1 hour, you have to write in seconds form, right? So 1 hour is 60 minutes. 1 minute is 60 seconds. So it becomes 60 into 60, that is 3600 seconds. If you substituted it, you got the answer, right? Then it is very easy. You suppose it came at as 180 kilometer per hour. Converted into meter per second means you just have to multiply 180 with 5 by 18. So it will be 50 meter per second. See, you can get the answer like this. Clear? I hope this much is clear. This is just an introduction part, guys. The next video will do the little bit tough section.